Stories from the National Tractor Pulling Championships. Carmen Foster, 2021 Grand National 4-Wheel Drive Division Champion, is set to have another great weekend at the National Tractor Pulling Championships as she ranks among the top in her class.
Dad's been driving my whole life, and then whenever he had a truck, I've always wanted to drive. So when it was my turn when I was 16, I got in the seat of a second truck. I am Carmen Foster from Fairgrove, Michigan, driving the Foster Child Chevrolet modified 4-wheel drive.
I got started in the truck and tractor pulling from my father. He pulled a 3-engine modified tractor back in the 70s and early 80s.
Our team name is Foster Motorsports. That's just from our last name and the fact that we've had several vehicles.
When we purchased the second truck, it was called Child's Play, and we thought that was fitting for Carmen, but we didn't want to leave it the same as the way it was, so we were trying to come up with names, and we had Farmer's Daughter and Daddy's Money, and finally Tanya said Foster Child. We all thought that was perfect.
I fixed this pulling because this is what my dad started with, and then this is what we continued on with once I turned 16. Sitting in the driver's seat is pretty amazing. It's definitely an adrenaline rush.
It's just fun to hear the motor and the vibration and the dirt flying, and there's nothing like it in my world.
We're trying to study our track to see where we want to go on the track. We decide wherever we want on the track, left, right, center, a little bit left of center, a little bit right of center. We decide that.
Based on a tight points race, Carmen will need to make the most of her 2 hooks in Bowling Green, Ohio to stay in the running for another NTPA championship. Leaving much to be desired and landing in 14th place, Carmen hopes to improve on her second hook in Pooltown.
But the fans, there's nothing like Bowling Green fans. It's just nothing like them. It's great to be there with them.
Yeah, this crowd's completely different. They're full on all the time, paying attention, very loud. This is probably one of the places that you can actually hear them even with your helmet on. You can see me shaking my head from the beginning when it just went, whoo! Did it? That was horrible.
It was 342, so it wasn't too horrible.
Wasn't that bad?
Missed our setup just a little bit. We didn't have the outcome that we wanted, but
The truck didn't really exactly do what we wanted it to. It bounced a little bit.
Carmen rips off a solid full pull, and despite frustrations, sits in first place before ultimately being bested by 2 competitors and finishing the evening in the 3rd spot.
Carmen, congratulations for Northwestern Tractor Pulling on the 3rd place finish tonight. Lisa and Larry Peterson are going to be presenting your trophy. Congratulations.
yeah, I'm very proud of Carmen. She's doing an excellent job of driving, and she listens real well. And we do have a little hiccups, but we work through it, and very proud of her. I think we're just going to continue pulling with just one truck. We seem to be having a lot of fun with it, and hopefully she'll let me drive.
Truck and track pulling is a lot of work. We travel all over the place. You've got to take quite a few days off.
Well, I'm sure some of my family and friends think we're crazy for doing this, but we get to see a lot of the country, and we get to hang out with people from all over the country. All our competitors in our class and in every other class, they're just good people, friends.
At their final event after BG, Carmen and Foster Motorsports jostled with their top competitors and came out on top with the first place prize. Ultimately, the 30 points earned weren't quite enough to bridge the gap as she wrapped up the season in the bronze position. A very respectable finish in a highly contested division, as first and third place were only separated by 7 points. On the next episode of Behind the Hook.
Well, when you're staging, you're sitting around thinking, well, did I do this right? Did I do that right?
I still get nervous. I've done it for 40 years.
Try to get the sled moving as fast as you can in that first 50 feet because the poles are won and lost in the first 50.
Behind the Hook. Stories from the National Tractor Pulling Championships.